Download the Pod TV app to catch your favorite shows like Smoke A Lot Radio, The Connected Experience, On the Line, The Gangsta Chronicles, and Doggy Diamonds No Filter, uncut and raw, unscripted. Remember, it's the Pod TV app, you heard?
You tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the J's.
Yeah, because once you realize the kind of the cards is stacked against, the deck is stacked against you anyway, because you figure you get a nigga to come home, right? He got every intention. He go get back with his baby moms. He go find him a job. He go get him this little job, right? You got to lie on the application because they ask you, have you ever been a felony? You know, so you don't been told no so many times. You finally say, fuck it, I'm going to put no on this motherfucker and see what happens. So you working at a job, you get you a little gig, you there for 2 or 3 months, and they come back and say, hey,
and they've done that.
Yeah, your background check don't came back fucked up. You got to go. So you doing this 2 or 3 times. You get frustrated because you got a broad at home that she been holding you down, probably sending you commissary and shit all this time. So now you at home, you ain't became nothing but another bill for this woman at this point. Cause she taking care of the kids, she taking care of this. You know, now she taking care of you. So it's like you go do whatever the hell you got to go do. You go have the homie Frank you a sack. You go do what you got to do, and next thing you know, you back in there. It's almost like the whole probation shit. We don't talk about that a whole bunch of times on this show. It's like a big trick bag.
Wow, that's 100.
Well, you got to look at it though. You know, when you come home, the penitentiary still gonna wear off sooner or later. You ain't gonna be fucking her like you fucking because you fresh out. She gonna get tired of that. She gonna be used to it. So she goes back to the same shit she doing. Who want to take care of a grown ass man?
Damn.
So we got to figure out. Us being black people, we don't want to work at Taco Bell. We ain't gonna work at no bullshit ass job. Mm-hmm. Not thinking, I'm just coming from the penitentiary. I'm gonna take whatever the fuck I can get. And I'm one of them cats. I'm not doing that.
No, not if you come from that hood life.
Yeah.
You got a name and you supposed to be some shit.
So
you resulting in the fuck that. I got to go back to doing
balling.
Exactly.
Come on.
Well, that's what you want to go back to. So coming home and then trying to do security, being a security guard at Walmart at night or somewhere like that, it's only gonna last 90 days because you got a record. And I was lucky because here comes Suge. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nigga ain't got to put on a uniform. But the uniform I got, exactly.
My representation from the neighborhood is my application.
That's it.
And that was verified.
I ain't had to fill out shit, and you don't have to do too much of nothing. But then that type of shit will send you back to the penitentiary because going into the industry on the outside of it, not a rapper, just a force. You know what I'm saying? Can send you back to prison. But no, if it's here in your mentality, I'm not going back to prison, and I can't let now one of you cats send me back to prison, then that makes you above the rest of them because this is where everybody think we supposed to go.
Yeah.
I'm not following you there.
Yeah, you know, and speaking of Suge and all of them,
why?
Maino, you got a solid reputation. We got a whole bunch of mutual homies and stuff. And I told him, I said, hey man, we go holler at Maino. He was like, that's gonna be a good dude for y'all show. You know, talk to him about this and that and everything.
Right.
What do you feel about the rise of the gangs in New York? Not that you got to, I ain't necessarily asking to have an opinion, but that's kind of crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, see, it started in prison. I was in prison when it started, and I understood why it was starting. It was a time when a lot of the Hispanic brothers, they was ganged up, and it was an era where, it was more or less kind of them against blacks, and we wasn't unified. So from my understanding, you know, in 1993 and C95, a couple of brothers got together and was just like, "Yo, we going band together," and that was the start of the Bloods, and it became what it became. So I understood what it was for, and you know, that unity that was needed in that era. You know, it became what it became. You know, I never was involved with the gangs because that's not the era I really come from. You know, I'm just maybe a couple years before that. You know, and it was cool to be able to stand on your own and have your name on your own and not need nobody and not, you know, not go to jail and become this or become that, you know. So it is what it is right now, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I wish it was a lot more leadership, though. You know, I wish, you know, especially in my part of town, like I wish it was a lot more solid leadership, you know, because there's a lot of things that I feel like they can do and they could be more useful doing, you know, if the leadership was better.
Yeah, I feel that, man, and I think that's all around the country, dog. Because these, you know, these young niggas, man, they kind of think different. Not kind of, but they think different. I think they do before they think. You feel what I'm saying? And when you don't have that big homie kind of leading you, it ain't nothing but destruction and death to follow. Guaranteed.
That's right. See, we was young niggas and we didn't think, you know. So I understand that aspect of it, you know. But nowadays when the big homie is not even as smart or as intelligent as the little homies, then what do you have? So when your big homie has never amounted to anything, has never, you know, surpassed things in life or is not experienced enough in life, then all you're gonna have is destruction. You know, and all he been doing all his life is spinning and destructing, then that's all he gonna give fruit to. It's all he gonna give birth to. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the blind leading the blind, and you know,
really with the aspect because you know, like I said, we all was young niggas at one time, and as far as we was on the West Coast, we really didn't have, you know, what you would call that leader structure in the gangs and shit. I mean, even though we were all together, it was like, you know, you stand on your own, even though we watched each other back and we together and shit. Right. We didn't have like just one main motherfucker controlling or structurizing the neighborhood gang. So I think as far as we were on the West Coast, it was different from us.
Way different. We had big homies. You're going to always have big homies because you got those guys you follow that's older than you. But other than that, we never had somebody to say, y'all gonna go over here, y'all this. No, I wasn't having that.
I kind of thought y'all did, though.
No.
I kind of thought that's how
some neighborhoods did, but like my neighborhood, we didn't have that.
Right.
Like the Marcus Nuns of yesteryear back in the days, they were leaders. They were the ones that put certain things together for their neighborhoods, and a lot of cats followed that. But in my neighborhood, we didn't have the OG that's putting the shit together. The majority of our OGs were on some other shit, going back and forth to prison just on GP. Couldn't even give that number back. Drugs or some shit like that, robbery, shit like that. They wasn't sitting on the block, like, homies, y'all fucking up, y'all. I didn't have that. So I didn't look at the big homies as I need to go get at these dudes or don't do this because it's repercussion to it. I did what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, and I had cats that ran with me, and we put shit together. So we never had a leader, and I don't think it's whether you have a leader, whatever title these people use. 18, 17 years old, you can think for yourself. And a lot of cats don't think for themselves. They think they have to follow. Just like you said, you weren't part of a gang. You was doing you. You got your reputation off of you. I call that gangster by nature, not by choice, because you found your own way. You stood up and did you. And people recognize you for you, not for the hood, but they recognize your get down. So that's all that is, man. Is I don't need a title to fit in or feel like I'm part of the group. every man needs to think for himself. But some neighborhoods they don't. Some neighborhoods do.
And I would say
So our interpretation of LA, we always kind of thought it was like, you know, because the word even the word big homie comes from there, right? If I ain't mistaken. It's like you got the little homies, and you got the big homies, and the big homies is basically the ones that's controlling everything, depending on what said or what hood, you know.
That's on the outside.
That's how we thought about it.
Yeah, outside looking in.
Man, and I'm gonna tell you, a big thing that fucked the big homies up all over the country was crack. You know, 85 through motherfucking the early 90s and shit, you know, a lot of dudes went from, you know, because you gotta look at it like this. In 88, you know, smoking a Primo or doing some blow was some baller shit. You know what I mean? It was some baller shit. You know, you see
83.
You feel what I'm saying? That was some baller shit. You know, you had niggas who had the pinky rings. They, you know, hit them one of these and everything.
That wasn't my era. My era, we started looking at, because we was just young drug dealers. You know, 5, 6 niggas rushing the car, all that shit. So we had niggas, by that time, niggas was doing Sherm and shit. Niggas was way gone off of everything.
Niggas was doing Sherm in the 70s.
Yeah, the Sherman, you know, so drugs pretty much fucked up. You know, drugs made a whole bunch of niggas rich. It got a whole bunch of niggas in the penitentiary, and it destroyed a whole bunch of motherfucking lives.
It destroyed a lot of the big homies. It destroyed the structure in the hood. But it only affects you if you follow that. Mm-hmm. If you follow up under those guidelines, then you ain't gonna want to do shit. You ain't gonna want to be productive. You ain't gonna do it. You feel me? So none of that shit even matter. People just gotta look at it like, I'm doing this, I gotta get out. Don't buy no dope and then know you finna smoke that shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
You defeat the purpose.
But you know, the thing is, everybody started out, I never fucked with that shit, but I see my older homeboys smoking them Primos. A lot of them dudes that were smoking them Primos, eventually, that shit wasn't working them.
What's a Primo?
A Primo is a joint laced with some crack, with some cocaine, with some rock.
Primo?
Yeah, with some cocaine and a Primo or Mo.
We call that shit a Wooly.
A Wooly?
Yeah.
So that's what Wu-Tang Clan was talking about in them songs? That's the only, that Wooly shit?
Yeah, smoke the Wooly, yeah. Smoke the Wooler.
Yeah, you know, and so that fucked up a lot of motherfuckers on the low. And you know, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and you a guy that's qualified to answer this. You coming from the place that you come from, man, and you first get in this recording industry, one of the most fakest motherfucking businesses in the world. Did the shit kind of like throw you for a loop a little bit?
It did, because I thought they wanted to see some real shit. So I started putting hands on niggas, and I said, and it was like, hold on, you really did that? And I was like, yeah, y'all ain't want to see that? I thought that this was y'all wanted. Y'all wanted the real thing, right? Y'all wanted the genuine article, right?
Right.
You know, but that's not. It's a
bullshit.
business, bro.
Exactly.
You know, because there's a lot of
my mentality was wrong. I was like, oh, all these niggas is fake. We're gonna come in the game and just over aggressive. Just my mentality was wrong, and I wish somebody would have told me and really explained to me that this was really just a business, and it was really just about images, and it was really about marketing.
Exactly.
It's just what it is. It's just that.
Oh, because you scare motherfuckers when you do some real shit.
And you scare your money away.
You scare your fucking money away. Them motherfuckers be ready to cancel you like it ain't shit. Like, oh, goddamn, this motherfucker is a real nigga. Why, we can't have this motherfucker. They like to pretend shit, and they like the facade of what it looks like. But when they run into a motherfucker who will really run in and kick in your door and pull a pistol on you and slap the shit out of the motherfucker, they get scared and they backpedal. But then they still want to make money off the shit.
Well, they gonna make money off you as long as you valuable, and you gotta always have some value, you know. But the thing is, you can mess up a lot of opportunities not knowing. So a lot of me bumping my head in the industry was because I was coming directly off the streets. I was coming from prison, and from prison I went back to the street, and it was just like we coming right out of the street right into the industry. So we don't have the game, or we don't have nobody to really say, yo, look, let me sit down and really give you the game for what it really is, because you intelligent, but you need to just sharpen a couple other things. And you know, had I known that, then I would not have cut off some of my opportunities early. You know, but I figured it out. You know, as time went on. You know, it's just a game, man. It's marketing. You know, it's a business, bro.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a business, man, and I think it takes, I don't know, some talented dudes, man, some talented brothers that came from the street and came in this shit and really just lost their mind because it wasn't what they thought it was, and they wound up not being able to progress, and it's like you just can't. It's so phony. And I told somebody that cats like the Tekashi 6ix9ine dude, they a product of all the bullshit. They a product of all the bullshit. That's the shit that got created by the industry, man, because you figure these kids see, they want the rough, raw, rugged motherfuckers, because I see a lot of people coming in this thing, man, and it ain't what they thought it was, and they get disappointed because they meet niggas that they thought was that dude, and you meet him and you like, damn, I'm disappointed.
Definitely.
Right, because
the industry is a facade on some niggas.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like us being street niggas, though, a lot of times we wear our heart and our emotions on our sleeves. And it wasn't really designed for us. But I'm going to tell you, for me, the moment that I stopped taking things personal is the moment I started to do better. The moment when I figured out that the industry and the people that inhabit it are not like me, and they don't have the same values, they don't have the same principles, they don't have the same integrity as me, and I'm going to be offended all the time because they're going to always do things that offend me. The minute that I stopped taking it personal is the minute that I was able to progress a lot more, because I was like, it took the emotion out of everything, and I wasn't wearing, my emotions. I was like, every time somebody said that they was gonna call me and didn't call me back, or stop answering their phone, those things drive street niggas crazy. Like, we can't take that because we deal.
Oh man, trust me, because I'm gonna tell you,
we deal with honor and principle. We deal with our word. We deal with honor. We deal with principles. Like when a man say he gonna do something, he gonna live it out.
You can't take shit personal because, like I said, when you deal from the street aspect of where you come from, a nigga not hitting you back will make you want to go slap the shit out of nigga.
Exactly.
And if it's on some music shit, you got to be just like, something, fuck it. Let me keep it pushing and shit, because this nigga don't understand the concept of where I'm at with nigga. Goddamn, you can't even hit me back or the respect to even just answering a phone call, especially when it's got to do with a nigga in this business. You feel me?
That's right.
And like you said, when they don't come from the same walks of life you come from, this a motherfucker probably sitting at his desk every day, you know what I'm saying, on some front shit or phony.
People don't even, some people their word is not even important to them.
Exactly.
Right? So certain things that's important to you, that's important to us, they don't have that same value system. So then you gotta measure your expectations on them. I can't expect him to put value in his word when he wasn't raised to do so. If he was comfortable or grew up in telling lies or being deceitful and treacherous to people was the way that he was raised, and that's who he is. And the industry and in the game is full of that, So like I said, like for me, I had to start to measure my expectations, because if I didn't, then it'd drive a nigga crazy. You can't excel. Go crazy on everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one of my biggest tasks, that's what I had to tell Big Bro James, right? When we first started doing this shit, you get a lot of people that call you. They'll bring up ideas and shit. You get excited, you get ready, and the motherfuckers disappear. I was used to that stuff. Me, working for the publishing company and just being in management and being in the industry. Somebody tell me something, I don't get excited until the check come.
That's right.
And in some cases, until that motherfucker clear, because I don't got a bunch of bouncing ass checks before too in this shit. You know what I mean? Just shit, it's like motherfuckers scheming and shit. But you can't take it personal, bro, because that's just what their world is. And the moment you put your hands on one of them niggas, dog, or say something about it, next thing you know, you really not jumping off no more.
I damn sure be feeling like that. Sock the shit out this motherfucker and get it over with. It won't lie to me no more.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's so much lying. That's the thing, man. You can't take none of this shit personal, or you won't have nothing going on, because I know around the time that you was doing your thing, you had a reputation for slapping the shit out of niggas.
Damn.
Shit happens, man.
I mean, like I said, if you come from some certain walks of life, I mean, you're not gonna put up with certain shit, man, from nobody. And especially in this game of music and entertainment, niggas be on some funny shit sometimes. And like I said, it just be too many niggas perpetrating to be real, be on phony fake shit. And sometimes you can't even hold that shit back, man. The natural self come out. And man, I just gotta check the nigga. I just have to, because this shit is uncalled for. Some niggas need to be checked sometime though.
Yeah, for real. And you can answer this if you want to, Maino, or not. Who was the nigga in the industry that just disappointed you the most? And you met this nigga, you couldn't wait to meet him, and when you met him, you was like, this motherfucking weenie.
That's happened many times. It's too many to name specifically. It's you know, there's a saying that you shouldn't meet your idols though. You shouldn't meet your heroes though, because they never add up to what you thought that they was gonna be. You know what I mean? That's why mystique is the greatest thing. You know, you seem close, but you really are far. So, you know, yeah, that happened many times though, bro. Like I'm like, damn, this nigga really a bird. Like
a bird?
You know,
yeah, that's bird. That's New York slang. That's New York slang. A bird ass nigga. Yeah, you know what the thing is though? It's worked the opposite for me too sometimes. Sometimes the niggas I thought was weenies, I meet these niggas and we somewhere out on track, I'm like, this nigga really with the business.
Yeah, that happened too.
Yeah, you know, he just don't talk about it like that. And that's what I noticed, the dudes that don't put up that persona that's cool and everything, like when you see you ain't out there wilding out, you cool, you personable, you a nice guy. Until you start some bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean that's because you know when you comfortable with who you are, you don't gotta project something else. You smile, you laugh, you're humble. You know, you just comfortable in your skin as a man. You know, a lot of times, you know how it is. It's always the nigga that's popping the hardest or ice grilling the strongest. He probably the weakest.
Well, I tell you this, I give props to the nigga who everything I thought he was. I was a Ghetto Boys fan coming up. Big Ghetto Boys fan. Mm-hmm. Willie motherfucking D is the nigga on the records and the nigga in person.
Yeah.
Cool brother, cool nigga. I don't met a whole bunch of cats like that that's just like everything you thought they was gonna be. They cool. Right. And I actually saw him put hands on a nigga in Texas one time at a restaurant. Willie D got hands, you know? So he was everything I thought I was, man, and I don't met some dudes that's like disappointed. And I'm like you, I'm going to get a political answer. There's been so many, I choose not to name them, you know?